This is the No BS Coaching Advice Podcast. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome to another episode of this show. You know, I like to spend some time with folks regularly talking about some element of life, the universe, everything. It can be about your career, it could be about your business, life in general, no focus. Well, actually, there's a lot of focus, and the focus is really on taking action. And the confluence that leads to this show comes from a couple of different places that all kind of added up to one target. And the target really, I think, was well put in a podcast interview I listened to where Bill Withers was being interviewed. And he's had some great songs over the course of his career. And look him up on YouTube. You'll recognize all his material. And Withers spoke in this interview, which was episode 1 of his show, and he spoke about a couple of things. And he said, he was talking about his own career. He was a musician, a songwriter, still alive. He turned 80 on July 4th. And he spoke about waiting for some guy with a cigar to find me and discover you. Ain't gonna happen. You have to go discover them. And it prompted me, because I had a couple of coaching clients or potential coaching clients, some of whom have become clients and some of whom have gone elsewhere, who all kind of were talking the same story that translated into, I just thought if I did a good job, someone would tap me on the shoulder and say, we want to promote you. No, we live in times where you have to promote yourself and you have to do stuff to get noticed. As Withers also says, you are remembered for making the most noise. Now, I'm not talking about being obnoxious, but you have to spend time promoting yourself, because ultimately, unless you do, you get taken for granted and it becomes assumed that you're the nice person. That's true, male or female. And I will tell you, women, that men have this issue as well. There are many men who know how to promote themselves, but many men who sit there waiting for that tap on the shoulder, that knock on the door that never comes. And I know that's true of many of you. And he continues by encouraging everyone to go out into the world and do something. Folks, sitting home and watching Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, it's just a way of numbing out. You don't feel anything while you do that. You relax a little bit. But man, if you took an hour when you got home to try and make something happen in your life and in the world, you'd be so much further along, feel so much more vital, feel so much more energized. Now, we all struggle with this. I'm going to acknowledge that about myself too. I start my day at close to 5 a.m. and I work until, the obvious work ends at 5. Then there's other work that I do later on. So by the time I really knock off in the area of 7 p.m., I am beat. Could I do 30 more minutes a little bit later on? Yeah, I could. And I do, sometimes. But developing consistency with that is so important because you miss opportunities through inertia, through taking the lazy approach and not really taking action. So I'm Jeff Altman. I hope you find this helpful. If you'd like support with this, reach out to me. The easiest way to do it is by connecting with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Once we're connected, message me and tell me that you're interested in coaching. We'll schedule a time for a preliminary conversation. I also want to say that, part of my long day is I coach people throughout the country and a few people internationally. So, don't hesitate to reach out to me. even if you're outside of the U.S. I'm based on the East Coast of the U.S. So, again, have a great day. Take care.